Workshop 1, Waxing Lyrical.
This is the first of the Willow workshops, and I've chosen to show you a technique because so many people tell me they can't draw. And this is a method that stops you worrying about what you've actually put down on the paper, because if you draw with a candle you cannot actually see what you're doing. So I'm just going to show you, just draw some simple shapes on this paper, and I'm not going to really worry about what I'm doing. I'm just enjoying using the candle to make some marks on the paper, and it really doesn't matter to me what they look like. It's just the starting point for a design. Right, I've finished making as many marks as I want to on the paper, I think, with the candle. So now I'm going to see actually what I've been doing by placing some fairly thin watercolour paint over the surface of the paper. And as you see, as I brush the paint across the page, where I've waxed it, it resists the paint. And if you don't like the little bobbles that it leaves on top of the wax, you can just dab those off with a piece of tissue or brush them away a little bit later when it gets drier. So that's the first colour finished. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to come back with working with the candle. Right, now I'm going to work on this again now that the yellow paint is dry, and choose areas where I want to keep the yellow paint. So I'm going to use the candle to work over the top of the yellow. I don't have to go over the white area again because that will stay as it is, because the wax is still there. So I'm just picking out areas where I want yellow. This technique could be used beautifully for abstract work that you could use as wrapping paper when you've finished it. There's a nice little wax on it to make it waterproof. Right, now I'm going to use some green paint in a contrast to the yellow. And you see that the yellow area that I use the candle is staying yellow. And keep brushing until you get all the areas filled with green paint. And then using a slightly drier brush and cleaner brush, keep brushing over so that you move the paint away from the yellow. And if you want to, and you don't like the little speckled effect, you can use tissue just to dab the paint off the yellow, like that. The green is completely dry. I'm going to come back with my candle and do some more work over the green as well. So I'm going to coat quite a lot of the picture because I'm going to put a darker colour on this time. probably a purple, one of my favourite colours, and hopefully it will give it a bit of impact on this picture. Doing a bit here. As you can see, it's a fairly vigorous way of working. You can actually use wax on fabric as well in this, using this method, but you have to melt the wax, so you have to use a lot of heat, whereas this is a much easier way of working. Right, I think I've covered enough area. Just see what happens. So in with the purple. This is the bit I love about this technique, because you really don't know what's going to happen, and it should encourage you to lose all your inhibitions about drawing and painting, because it's just experimentation. So here we go with the purple. And it's covering quite a lot of the picture at the moment, but it's breaking away where the wax is. Now I'm just going to leave it to dry a little bit, because it's taking some time for it to work away from the wax, and then we'll see what happens. I'm just going to finish by just pushing this away from the waxed areas, so it brings the flower into view a bit more. And then I'm going to leave it to dry, because it's giving a very nice abstract effect in the background. And this one also is quite interesting. It's a very, very simple white drawing. That was the first mark that I made with the candle, and then built up using the yellow, green, blue and then orange. So that had quite a lot of different colours on it. So now I've shown you that technique, I really hope that it just gives you the feel that you really want to have a go yourselves. And I've just got one more thing actually to show you, which there's a little message here for everybody to see.